Hey guys, it's Heather, and today, rather than being outside in the beautiful weather, I'm gonna sit here in my closet and film this video for you guys. It is 70 degrees outside. I'm here in New Jersey. We have not had weather like this. So as soon as I am done filming this, I'm gonna go outside. So what I wanted to do is put together a video for you guys that kind of explains my declutter process. For me, it is not easy. Trust me, you are not the only one. It is not easy for me whatsoever. I stare at the same thing and I'll say, oh, maybe I'll wear that one day. No, I never wear it. So what I did was a while ago, I put together a list of questions for myself that I could go through as I'm decluttering to make the process easier, to make the process more realistic, and to kind of put myself in check throughout the process. I put together 10 key questions that I ask myself as I'm going through my closet, and this doesn't just pertain to clothes, it pertains to shoes, bags, jewelry, pajamas, whatever, anything related to wardrobe, accessories, and whatnot. Underwear, socks, same thing. Okay, so the first question I ask myself when looking at an item, is it new? And then I break it down into 2 columns, so it would be either yes or no. And this would be the case for the next 10 questions. So if the answer is yes, that it is new, and you haven't worn, let's just say I have worn this, but let's say I hadn't worn it. I would consider wearing the item first, or if the item still has tags on it and it hasn't been, 30, 60, 90 days or whatever, and you still have the receipt and you're not gonna wear it, you go ahead and return it. If not, if you lost the receipt, if it's past the time, go ahead and consider selling it, making a couple bucks. I like the sites Poshmark for selling clothes. I like eBay for selling certain things. And I also like the site Mercari. Mercari takes less, I think, of a cut than Poshmark does, and I like it because you can choose whether or not you go with their shipping. Where Poshmark, it's like if you order something, I think it's like a flat rate of around $6 or $7 or something like that now. So if that's the case, that's what you would go ahead and do. If the tags aren't on it, consider wearing it. Really go throughout the day and think about how you feel in it, how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel good, if you like the way you look, if it, then you keep it. If you're not feeling it, if it's not for you, then you can go ahead and declutter it, you can donate it, or you can sell on Poshmark and Mercari and eBay, even if it's not brand new. Okay, so for that question, if the answer is no, and it's not new, you've worn it many of times, I go ahead and I move on to the second question. And the second question is, have you worn it yet? So yes, I've worn that sweater, okay? So I would go ahead and I would move on to question 3. Now, if you haven't worn it, go ahead and ask yourself the following. Ask yourself why you haven't worn it. Another thing that I like to do is I go ahead and instead of hanging the item up this way, I'll go ahead and I'll turn it around and I'll hook it on that way. Because then with the backwards hanger, it's gonna indicate to me that I have not worn the item. And then in like 6 months time or a year, or if you wanna do 3 months, whatever you wanna do, you go ahead and you reevaluate, okay, I still haven't worn that, it's time to pull it out. And then you can donate and sell and do the steps that I already said. Okay, so if you have worn it, you're gonna move on to question 3, and that question is, would you buy it again? So a lot of the clothes in my closet, and I'm sure you can relate, I'll look at it and be like, what was I thinking when I bought this? Like, who did I think I was, So I have a bunch of stuff in here that's like that, where you thought it was a good idea at the time, and 6 months later, you're like, what? So if that goes on, and you wouldn't buy it, then I think you really need to consider decluttering it, donating it, selling it, one of the 3, or giving it away to somebody who you think would really like it. So number 4 is, does it make you happy? Does it make you feel good when you're wearing it? If the answer is yes, it's easy, you would keep it. So I'm gonna bring it in a little closer here and just kind of show you how I would do it. So I would just go through, and then for number 4, I would ask myself the question, does it make me happy? Do I feel good wearing it? And in this case, for this sweater, the answer is yes, absolutely. I love this sweater. It makes me feel very warm and cozy, and I just love it. Okay, so we move on to question number 5. Does it fit? So I have a lot of work pants. I think I actually just pulled a pair out over here in this section that I do really like. Like for these ones, for example, I do like them, and they're more of like a, I wouldn't say it's a low, it's definitely not a low rise, but it's not a mid rise. It's kind of just like a regular rise. But lately, I've been liking more of the mid-rise. So you want to ask yourself questions like that. Like, do you like the fit? Does it fit? I'm not saying get rid of anything that you don't like the fit or that's maybe a little bit too big or too small. But I just think it's good to kind of keep it in perspective what you want, especially when you're going to work or you're going out with your friends. You want to be wearing things that make you feel good. And you don't want to just force yourself to wear stuff that's in your closet just because you spent money on it. So I always try to remind myself that, and then I feel a little bit less guilty. Okay, so that kind of coincides with number 6, and that just basically is, does it fit good and do you feel good when you're wearing it? So for the next question, I ask myself, is it in good condition? If it's a sweater, does it have pills all over it? Is there rips? Stuff like that. Or if you have a pair of shoes, I buy like my flats from Payless for work, and I really like this one brand. They're called Dex Flex Comfort. But since I wear them so much for work, they tend to get beat up really quick. And another thing is like flip-flops. These tend to get beat up really quick. So moving on to the next thing that I ask myself, say for example, it is a handbag and I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Maybe like I bought the bag last year and I wore it a ton that season. And it's just not something that I'm going to be wearing again. So for example, this handbag, I love it. It's super cute. It's Rebecca Minkoff. You can either hold it like this or it comes with the shoulder strap. Like you can do it like this or you can do it crossbody. And I really love this bag, but I'm not wearing it a ton. So I would ask myself, is it worth resale? So if it's worth it and I can get enough money where it would be worth it for me to put the time into listing something online, that's a question that I always keep in mind when I'm considering decluttering something and selling it. I don't want to just list something that is definitely not going to sell, especially if I want to treat myself to a new bag or something. What I like to do is always sell one of the ones that I had so then I can take the money from the sale of the bag and put it towards a new purchase of a bag. And with that said, I'm gonna list down below where I list things as well as where I find really good deals with handbags and selling clothes, purchasing clothes, things like that. And I'll kind of break it down into category, like where I typically do better selling my handbags, what I would typically sell on like a Poshmark and that kind of thing, just to give you guys an idea of how I go about doing it. I'll kind of go over it a little bit more and then I'll put it down below in the description box. So my next question when I go through for my wardrobe decluttering questions, I ask myself, can I give it away or donate it? If you have a shirt and it is ripped and there's rips all over it, of course you're not going to go ahead and donate that. You might want to cut it up and use it for rags to clean around your house. But if it is in decent condition and you would want to give it away, I 100% recommend donating. I donate all the time. I have a local Salvation Army, or I'll do a couple other things, but it's great because you can literally pull up and they come and they take the stuff out of the back of your car. I am notorious for putting like 5 bags of donation. It doesn't even have to be clothes, just anything. And I'll just cruise around for like a year with this stuff in the back of my car. And yeah, I finally went ahead and took care of that, but I need to really work on improving on that part. But I'm sure other people do it too, and I'm not alone there. So as far as with the giving away and donating, if you are at this part and you're questioning to yourself and you've gone through all the other questions and maybe they didn't check the yes box, they checked the no box, and it's in really good condition, let me go grab an example of something that would have matched up with this prerequisite. Okay, so I got this sweater probably 7 years ago, and it is a Roxy sweater. It is very cute. Kind of has that Aztec print going on it. It is definitely a little bit pilled, but aside from that, it is a really, really nice sweater. Because of the pilling and a little bit of the wear to it, I'm not sure if you can really see that great on camera. I'm sure I could take a tool and kind of shave it off a little bit, but this is one of the ones that is kind of on the fence. like, should I sell it or should I donate it? So I do like this sweater. I have just had it for a really long time and I don't find myself reaching for it as much because I have newer sweaters that I like better. So since it kind of checked the no box on a lot of them, this is one that I would highly consider donating, that I'm not sure because of like the pilling and stuff how much it would be worth it, because to sell things, it is a little bit time consuming, especially if you have 50 items. So typically what I do is I put it on a hanger. I'll show you in a minute here when we're done. I'll go ahead and show you exactly how I do it. But I put it on the back of a white door and I just kind of open the shade so it's a natural sunlighting. I try to get the best lighting as possible, but sometimes it is hard to show the true color on camera and in a picture. So sometimes when people get things, they'll say, oh, the color's off, but it is really hard to get the exact color. So what I like to do is I'll take a couple different pictures, one in natural lighting, one with maybe some artificial lights, and just so they can kind of see the variation and the difference of color that the lighting would create. So this is just a perfect example of the question being, can I give it away or donate it? So if I don't give this away to friends or family, I will probably go ahead and donate this one. Okay, so moving on, the question I ask myself, is the item still in style? Recently, I took a couple pairs of jeans and I have them in my spare bedroom because I'm gonna list them online, and they're boot cut and they fit me really nice, but they're more of like a low rise and it's just not flattering. It's just not what I like right now. And I think one of them are 7s and the other ones are Citizens of Humanity, and they're in really good condition. So with that being said, instead of hanging on to them just because I spent a lot of money on them, I've had them for a really long time and they are in good condition. So I'm gonna go ahead and list those ones on probably Poshmark. And I think I talked about it a little bit before. I think it was number 6. Like, do you feel good wearing it? Also, you have to ask yourself, is it comfortable? I have, where are they? I have a pair of shoes right here. They're patent leather pumps. And I got these at Payless, believe it or not. They are that Dex Flex Comfort, and I really like them because they are comfortable. I have a little bit of an issue with like the ball of my foot. Sometimes it hurts when I wear heels. But to tell you the truth, I don't wear stilettos like this. It's just not comfortable for me. So for example, in your closet, you may have, I don't even have any, but like some outrageous heels or something. It's just not comfortable and you're like breaking your ankle trying to wear them, or you have this, you know, pair of pants, they're just not comfortable. Go ahead and sell them or donate them. It's not worth hanging on to them. Okay, so this is another one that I really like that I ask myself. If I buy myself something new, I like to go ahead and remove something from my closet. So I like to follow that 1 in, 1 out rule. So say I buy a new sweater or something, and for example, it is like a mustardy gold sweater, something like this one. I will go ahead and ask myself, do I have anything like it in my closet? Because if you have duplicates of things, I think some things it's okay to have duplicates. Like I have a couple pairs of black pants or black tank tops, stuff like that. But if you're really looking to declutter because you're just telling yourself, wow, I'm overwhelmed, I have way too much stuff here, I can't even see what I have, then I think it's a good idea to go ahead and ask yourself, do I have something like it? Do I have a duplicate like it? The same with shoes. You might have 2 pairs of nude pumps or something, or 5 pairs of black sandals. Kind of ask yourself those questions as you're going through it, and it will be really easy to kind of pare down your wardrobe. Same goes for like jewelry or your bag collection, scarves, anything like that. If you have something else that's like it and you buy something new, then maybe it's time to go ahead and get rid of what you already have. Okay, so the last question that I ask myself, and this one is definitely difficult because it's gonna pull in people's emotions here. And I think that it's difficult to declutter and get rid of things that someone else has bought for you. But the way I look at it is, if someone bought you something and it doesn't fit you right, and you're not able to go and exchange it, if it's just not your style, you don't like it, you know, it's a tricky subject. I feel like, should you have to hold on to it just because you wouldn't want to hurt someone's feelings, or just because you feel like, okay, someone else spent money on it? I definitely battle and I'm on the fence a lot about it. But The reality of it is, if you don't like the item, if you're not gonna wear it, if it's just not for you, then I think that you need to not hold on to that guilt. For me, I don't just hold on to the item out of guilt, like just feeling guilty about getting rid of it. For me, if I bought someone something and they really didn't feel good wearing it or wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't want them to just wear it and hold on to it just because I got it for them. I would want them to be wearing things that, you know, they love and makes them feel good when they're wearing it, makes them feel confident, comfortable, whatnot. That's always the trickiest thing, decluttering sentimental items, items that you've gotten as a gift. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and link down below. I will post this list of questions, either in a link that you can like click to and go and visit, or I will list them down below. I probably just link them out too so that you can go and view them. But I'm gonna take you into the guest bedroom and I'm just gonna quickly show you how I go about listing an item for sale. Okay, so we're kind of backlit here and the lighting, oh, that's a little bit better, but it's really not doing the color justice. Anyway, so what I do is I just take the item, and you wanna make sure that it is ironed. What I like to do is I will just throw the item in the steam cycle of the dryer if I can, put it on a hanger, put it on a little hook on the back of the door, and that's how I go ahead and I get my shots when I list on Poshmark or eBay or Mercari. Okay, so once the item, I take pictures of it, I try to get a picture of the front, I'll turn around, I'll get a picture of the back. If there's any detailing, I try to zoom in and get a picture of that as well. I like to zoom in, get a picture of the size, get a picture of the label. Sometimes on the side, there's tags on what the material is, how to wash it, all of that. I'll go ahead and I'll get a picture of that as well. So I'm just bringing up the app on my phone and it's really simple. Like you would just snap the pictures in here. You can do exactly as I just suggested as far as what pictures to get. So I'm just gonna show you Poshmark as an example. So here are the pictures that I took for this listing. As you can see, I did the front, the back, and the tag. And then what you wanna do is in the description, they don't give you that much character spacing, so you kinda have to make the most of what you got. For this one, I listed it as Forever 21 bodysuit, V-neck blouse, size small. And then you can, of course, type more into the description. For the description, I put Forever 21 bodysuit, V-neck blouse, size small, in a beautiful mustard yellow / honey color. I try to describe as many colors as possible in there because what I might think is like a honey or a mustard color may be something completely different to somebody else. So I try to use like variants of different color descriptions in there. So this was only tried on, it was the wrong size, didn't fit me. So I clearly state that in the description, that it was only tried on and it was never worn. So you go ahead and you select the category, it's super easy. So I selected women, I selected tops and blouses. You select the size it is, they give you plenty of sizes to choose from. And then for the colors, you can only pick 2 and they have like all the standard colors. So I picked yellow and gold. And then as I had mentioned earlier for Poshmark, the shipping is always a flat fee. I think if the box is under 5 pounds, and that's $6.79. So one thing that I really like about Poshmark, you print out the shipping label ahead of time and it's foolproof, it's easy, you slap it on the box as long as it's under 5 pounds. It doesn't matter if you ship it in a package, if you ship it in a box this small, this big. So with eBay, I feel like you're kind of having to weigh everything and make sure that the shipping is right, unless you pick like a flat rate shipping box. Or something like that. So that is one of the really nice features with Poshmark. Now with Mercari, I think that you get the option to do both. So you can either go ahead and ship it on your own, or you can use their flat rate shipping. And you just list the price. They ask you to list what you bought it for and then what you're selling it for. And then you just hit like the list button or whatever it is. So it's super, super easy. So I have a couple pairs of jeans down there and I have some work pants over here that I need to list. And then I just listed that stack. And then everything else for my last closet declutter, some of it is in these bags and these bags are going into donation. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more videos similar to this one. So I do anything on my channel from like organization to beauty to like lifestyle tips to some cleaning videos and all of that kind of thing. So I hope you guys will subscribe and hang around, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.